Hello friends, welcome to a new lecture today on MCQs on esophagus surgery. All of the following are true about Borjev syndrome except. So, first we will see the options. Pleural effusion may be seen on chest X-ray. Yes, in Borjev syndrome, pleural effusion can occur because pleural effusion may be seen on chest X-ray. Yes, Borjev syndrome is mainly whenever there is vomiting against closed glottis, it causes perforation of the esophageal musculature, that is tear in the complete rupture of esophageal layers. So that is Borjev syndrome. Because of the rupture of esophageal layers, the food contents. The next option, it has higher mortality rate compared to Mallory Weiss-Ter. True, because it causes through and through perforation of all layers of esophagus. So it causes higher mortality rate than Mallory Weiss-Ter. Perforation is common in middle esophagus. False. Perforation is most commonly occurs in lower esophagus in Borjev syndrome, especially left posterior part of lower esophagus. It may follow a bout of heavy drinking. True, it follows a bout of heavy drinking. Okay, next question. True about esophageal leiomyoma is. Esophageal leiomyoma is a benign tumor of esophagus, which is most common benign tumor of esophagus. It is a smooth muscle neoplasm. It is most common in males when compared to females. Most common site of this esophageal leiomyoma is middle and distal third of esophagus. So we will see the options. Avoid intramural mass with smooth outline on CT scan. Yes, esophageal leiomyoma, we can see it has oval intramural mass with smooth outline on CT scan. It is a mass of skeletal muscle overgrowth. No, it is smooth muscle overgrowth, not skeletal muscle overgrowth. Prognosis is generally poor. No, prognosis is excellent. Actually, here you can see that the this leiomyoma can be enucleated easily, so it has good prognosis. Most common site is proximal third of esophagus. No, most common site is middle and distal third of esophagus. Most common site is middle and distal third of esophagus. Next question. Endoscopic ultrasound is extremely useful in staging which tumor? Endoscopic ultrasonography is extremely useful in staging tumor of esophageal cancer. Okay. Along with esophageal cancer, it is also useful for staging the rectal cancer, gastric cancer, and pancreatic head cancer. But here, the most useful endoscopic ultrasonography is most useful for staging the carcinoma esophagus when compared to others. What is the treatment of low-grade Barrett's esophagus? Low-grade Barrett's esophagus treatment is endoscopy and biopsy at regular intervals. If it is low-grade Barrett's tumor, we do endoscopy and biopsy at regular interval. If it's high-grade Barrett's tumor, then we will have to undergo the laser ablation, radiofrequency ablation. Endoscopic mucosal resection is advised if it is high-grade Barrett's tumor. For low-grade Barrett's tumor, we do endoscopic biopsy at regular intervals. Next question is, basic pathology of Barrett's esophagus is. The main pathology of Barrett's esophagus is metaplasia of squamous cells to columnar cells. So, here there is metaplasia of squamous cells to columnar cells is seen in Barrett's esophagus. What is the most common site of squamous cell carcinoma of esophagus? See, for esophagus we have two types of carcinoma. One, squamous cell carcinoma. Second, adenocarcinoma. Most common site of squamous cell carcinoma is middle 1/3, whereas most common site of adenocarcinoma is lower 1/3. In this question, they have asked about the squamous cell carcinoma. Most common site of squamous cell carcinoma is middle 1/3, whereas most common site of adenocarcinoma is lower 1/3. Then, true about Zenker's diverticulum is, we will see the statements. It is asymptomatic usually. No. In Zenker's diverticulum, most common symptom is presence of sticky sensation in the esophagus, in the throat. Then, it occurs in mid-esophagus. No. Zenker's diverticulum is most commonly seen in the left side of the neck, especially at the cricopharyngeal junction, where that is especially at the Killian's dehiscence, that is the muscular defect, weakened muscular defect between the thyropharyngeus and cricopharyngeus muscle. So Zenker's diverticulum occurs at the Killian's dehiscence, not at the mid-esophagus. Treatment is simple excision. Yes, in Zenker's diverticulum, treatment is simple excision and the process is called as diverticulectomy. It occurs in children. No, it is most common in old age, especially at the 7th decade. Okay, next question. A patient presenting with progressive dysphagia and in barium it shows bird beak appearance. Barium bird beak appearance. Remember, if there is bird beak appearance in barium, it is achalasia cardia. Investigation of choice for bird beak appearance in barium is manometry. Because achalasia cardia is a motility disorder, so the investigation of choice for achalasia cardia is manometry. Then the next question, investigation of choice for esophageal rupture is, if there is esophageal rupture, then we will have to assess or see where the rupture is. And in esophageal rupture, mostly the patient is unstable. Even if he is stable, if you do any invasive procedure, then he might become unstable. So, in esophageal rupture, we should do a barium contrast swallow so that you can see the defect through imaging. And it is a non-invasive procedure because you just give barium to swallow and you will do an X-ray following it. So, investigation of choice for esophageal rupture is barium contrast swallow. Best method to diagnose gastroesophageal reflux disease is gastroesophageal reflux disease. The problem here is acid regurgitates from the stomach into the esophagus. So in this you will have to see the pH monitoring. So best method to diagnose gastroesophageal reflux disease is 24-hour pH monitoring. Thank you guys for watching my lecture. Thank you.